Hello everyone, today we're doing a lovely Indian inspired dish called Masala chicken, and it's going to be served with rice pilaf, which is a beautiful way of cooking rice with onion and stock, and it's going to be served with raita, which is a yogurt dressing. Okay, first thing we have to do is to take care of this chicken, and we need to get rid of a lot of the fat that's on the chicken. So we're going to just chop off any fat we see. And we're going to make it into pieces around about the same thickness. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm going to butterfly the chicken out like that, so they're around about the same thickness all the way through. Okay, so now we've prepared the chicken and we're going to get this garlic ready. So we're going to smash it. We want it really, really fine. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Really smash it with the side of our knife. Now we're going to, just using our fingers, pick up a little bit of the garlic, spread the chicken out. Pick up a bit of the garlic and rub the garlic in like painting it. Turn that over. Now we've got our spices over here, but we haven't put our chilli in yet. This has got a bit of chilli in it, and if your family doesn't like chilli, then perhaps don't put so much in or don't put any in. I'm just going to mix that through, and now we're going to sprinkle that over the chicken and rub it in. Spread it over. Oops. I've got a plate ready for that to go on. That's going to kind of marinate in the spices for about an hour in the fridge. We're going to start making our rice pilaf. I've got some sunflower seeds here, and I'm going to just dry roast them in a pan, with a heavy bottom pan with a lid, and we're going to cook the rice in there as well. So we're just going to let those cook off while we do the onion. Just chop the onion, as I've shown you in other recipes, fairly fine, and I've taken my seeds off because they're just starting to brown. I'll just show you that in a minute. We don't want to brown the seeds completely, because they're going to go in with the onion as well. So bring the oil over. Get some chicken stock, some dry chicken stock powder. Read the back of the box or the cube container where it comes in, and see how much water you need to make, how much stock you need to make 3 cups of stock. So I'm just going to mix that up. Doesn't have to be in boiling water, because we're going to bring it to the boil on the stove. Doesn't matter if it's a bit lumpy either. Okay, the onion is just about transparent now. We're going to add our rice, and we're just going to coat the rice in all the lovely oil and mix it all through. And we have to make something out of something called a cartouche, which is a round piece of paper. So now we're going to add our stock, and I'll show you how to make the paper thing. Just wait for that to come to the boil. Make sure all the rice is down inside the stock. And now we're going to make a cartouche. Grab a piece of baking paper, fold it in half, fold it in quarters, then fold it again, and again, and again. Now measure the diameter, not the diameter, the radius. So from the centre, measure around about how wide it is. Get yourself a pair of scissors, cut it off there, and there you have a nice little circle called a cartouche. Now we're just going to wait for that to come to the boil, and then we're going to add the cartouche and cook it with the lid on until all the water has disappeared. Okay, the rice has come to the boil now. We're just going to place that cartouche down on there very carefully. I'm going to turn it down to low. And we're going to put the lid on. We're now going to heat the pan up to cook the chicken. We're actually going to brown the chicken off in the pan, and then we're going to put it on an oven tray and pop it into a hot oven, an oven about 200 degrees, and that'll just finish cooking it through. I think so. Okay, have the cucumber down on the board like this and come through on an angle and take the cucumber out like that. Now there's two ways you can do Rita. You can either grate the cucumber or you can chop it into little pieces. I'm going to chop it into little pieces. A little bit further now because we're going to fine dice them. Bring those together and very carefully come through. So we've got a bit of a fine dice of cucumber. That goes into the bowl. And now we're going to get our mint. We haven't got any mint in the garden yet. We've planted some, but it's not quite ready, so we're just using mint from the supermarket. And coriander. This coriander needs a bit of a wash, so I'm just going to go and wash that with some cold water. Right, I've washed the coriander and I'm just going to cut that into pieces like this, and then I'm just going to come through like this. It smells divine. And then we're just going to get a spoon and mix that through. I wish you could smell it. It smells fantastic. We're just going to season that with some salt and pepper. We're just going to check the rice now because it's looking like it's just about done. Just take the cartouche off, take a knife and go in and see whether there's any liquid left. No, there's none. So that is ready. We're going to put the cartouche back on. And we're going to take it off the heat. That will hold the heat until the rest of the meal is ready. Just going to put a bit of oil in the pan. And we're going to brown up the chicken. Now, I didn't put any salt on the chicken before, so I'm going to put some salt on now. The reason I didn't put any salt on earlier was I didn't want it to bleed all of the juices out of the chicken, which is what would have happened. After a couple of minutes, I've turned the chicken, but it's nowhere near cooked, okay? I've also seasoned the top with salt. It doesn't need pepper because it's already got chili powder in it, so that's enough. And now I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to put it on a tray and pop it in the oven for about, I'll check it after 5 minutes. Okay, we've got a pretty hot oven here, 200 degrees. And we're going to let that cook for 5 minutes and I'll just see how it is after 5 minutes. Okay, the chicken has been in for about 10 minutes now, so I think it'll be ready, but we're going to check. It smells divine. And we're going to cut just a little bit of the thickest part. So there's a nice thick part there. Just going to check that. Yep, it's cooked. So now we should just let that rest for about a couple of minutes while we get our rice ready. We're going to serve the rice now. When you take the lid off the ricer, you'll see how divine it looks. And some of the onion has all come up to the surface, so just mix that through. It should be salty enough because of the chicken stock. And we're just going to get a little one of these. Oh no, we're just going to put the rice on the plate today, freestyle. Like that, on the side. We're going to lay the chicken over the top. So we're going to cut the chicken. So here we have the chicken. We're just going to take it and slice it through this way. I'm just going to pick it up with our knife and lay it over the top like that. And we'll get a little bit of extra coriander and we're going to pop that over the top. And then just grab a little bit of this coriander, just break it up. Over the top. And voila! Masala chicken with cucumber raita.